And hello again, Internet. Well, here we are with day 4 of Star Trek Judgment Rites, and I did not have to look anything up this time. So, fingers crossed that
Load a
things actually go
previously
better.
saved game.
Let's turn my volume down here a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we're going to load a previously saved game right here. Like I said, I did not have to look anything up last time. We've got progress. I can go deliver the letter to the reporter dude, who will spread the rumor and let me get the chalkboard. We're still missing the TNT though. So we need to figure out how to get that code, which I'm just gonna assume we can do once we get the chalkboard. But we've got the chalkboard, the airplane, the the barrels are all gone. Wow, all I had to do was spike them and then there they went. We have the we'll have the locket, the chalkboard, the clock, and the airplane. Oh, nope. Oh, I have a rifle. I don't know if I still need that, though. But let's talk to you.
Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about? What can you tell me? I need you to spread. What can you tell me about the? I need you to spread a.
You say you need me to convince Herr Schiller to give you the kindergarten blackboard? Do not know why, but I would do anything if you could get the commander to issue a transfer for my son.
I already did that. Okay, let's go back and pick that up, I guess.
I'll get it.
I would explain why it wasn't in my inventory. I had to actually
You have taken
manually
the signed transfer papers.
pick it up. Wow, okay. These games. I mean, come on, how petty is that you have to actually pick up the paper yourself? And now we go back, we give the paper to the dude. Hopefully we can finish this one without any further complications. And move on to the next one. Because I would like one of these to actually be completely finished before the end of the day.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. I cannot express my gratitude. If there is anything I can do for you, please let me know.
There is. That's why I did
friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me? I need you to spread a rumor about a child.
You say you need me to convince Herr Schiller to give you the kindergarten blackboard. I would do anything for the man who got the commander to issue a transfer for my son.
that. Okay, let's do this. Talk to you, get the letter.
Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
You look worried. It wouldn't happen to be about the chalkboard by any chance.
I have heard the most horrifying rumors about these boards. Do you think they are true?
Absolutely. If you wish, I could dispose of the thing for you before anyone is harmed. I'd need a letter for Frau Hopperding.
Absolutely. Let me just take pen to paper.
Okay. Progress is being
Take it
made.
when you want to destroy the vile thing.
Grab the paper. I'm still missing the TNT.
You pick up the piece of paper.
Thank you, game! I didn't realize that that's what I was trying to do. Oy. The thing is, I love these little comments like that in this game. I like all kinds of little details that I do appreciate in this game. And then there's the frustrating ones. Ah! But, okay, use, once you stop walking through the class, use the letter on Frau Bruca!
Superintendent says you must take it. You must.
Seriously? He just basically did it as a magic trick for the class. Look, kids, I'm going to make this chalkboard disappear. Where is it? You'll never know. That is the dumbest little touch. Like, they're just basically trying to acknowledge the fact that he's not walking around with the big chalkboard, so how do we do it? Let's make it a magic trick. Yay! Disappeared! So dumb. Alright, let's use the chalkboard on the plane. Use chalkboard on the plane. Fuel tank's empty, so I can't shoot the fuel tank at the plane.
Chalkboard in the triplane.
Alright, progress has been made.
Save new game.
Save
Replace
the-
previous game.
Save it on day 2, or part 2. And we're walking! So I still need the TNT, and I have the gun, because I think I have to shoot the TNT. Would make sense now, wouldn't it? Bum-ba-dum! Alrighty. Huh. I also didn't realize that, you know, the way it is, Star Trek Judgment Rites, the actual name for the executable basically turns out to be Trek Jr. It's kind of funny. Wait, where's the rope? What happened to the rope? I don't have the rope. Now I have the rope. Graphics glitch. Come on, guys. Let's do better than that. Talk to you?
You'll never get me to talk.
I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of. Where's Trelane? I would prefer that you're nothing but a
I will tell you nothing.
If you really want to shoot a helpless man, let's not go halfway. Tie him up first.
He's graphically tied up! I mean, come on! Graphics!
Captain, I don't think he's a threat anymore.
Now I can't threaten to shoot him, though.
We need to learn the combination, Captain.
Yes, I do. What could it possibly be? Let's talk to him.
You'll never get me to talk.
I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of Trelane. Where's I would prefer that you didn't.
I will tell you nothing.
Okay, well, he's not going to give me any info.
Papers on the commander's desk.
There does not appear to be anything relevant to Trelane here.
You'd figure that anywhere that would have this, you know...
This painting of a storm at sea isn't impressionistic, just poorly painted. The commander's desk, covered with papers. A rack containing German rifles. A soldier. He is currently unconscious.
There's gotta be
No effect.
some way to
I
open
can
the safe.
feel the hernia already.
Actually, Doctor, there's a 91% chance that attempting to carry the safe would injure your back before it could give you a hernia. It would be more appropriate for Mr. Ellis or I to carry the safe. Of course, it would be even more appropriate not to take the safe without some logical reason.
Thank you, Spock. Thank you very much. Where am I going to find the
A supply case, holding some of the commander's few possessions.
I do not see anything useful in the case, Captain.
How about
We
the
have
book?
records of that book aboard the Enterprise.
Can I get the snow globe?
I used to have one of these toys when I was a
Rose,
Captain, let's not go around carting anything heavy unless it's absolutely necessary. If we see a need for a telescope, we can come back here.
Can I use the
I don't think I can
telescope?
see anything the way it's currently pointed. I used to have one.
Rose,
We have I do not
don't we have...
carrying around large works of
Captain, let's not go around
I don't need to use them. I don't.
interrogating someone who's unconscious.
I did, but make up your mind, game. Is he conscious? Is he unconscious? Is he tied up? Is he not tied up? Use the rope on him. Use the med kit on him.
Jim, I really don't think it's healthy to put more chemicals into his bloodstream. I don't see any...
Spock, try to get info out of him.
I
Spock?
could mind meld with him to get the combination of this.
Thank you!
Trelane.
Spock, snap out of it.
He's not paying attention to me. Run away.
The combination, Spock. Concentrate on the combination.
Kirk. I must have revenge on Kirk. Every great man has his enemy.
Interesting. I like this.
Nothing could be more fun than revenge. The sensation to end all sensations.
Spock.
I'm back, Captain. I was able to mind meld with Trelane to an
That's
extent
not good.
through his replications. These men are the crew of the Shinobi, the original freighter that Trelane
Interesting.
captured. Their thoughts have been altered by Trelane.
Where is the Enterprise, Spock?
Or the Zimbabwe.
I received the impression that Trelane is holding them prisoner. I also got the combination for the safe. Right 43, left 18, right 29, pull.
Interesting. So these people are not creations of Trelane. They've been modified by him. Well,
Captain, allow me to do that. I was the one who discovered the combination. I am the logical choice.
all right, fine, Spock. Be that way. Okay, get the dynamite out, Spock. Or, you know, let me do that part. Sure, I'll handle the dynamite. That's fine.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Like I say, I'm going to leave him tied up. No, I'm not. I'm going to get the rope back, just in case. Besides, he's a prisoner of Trelane as much as I am, so... I like this. Listen, I love the story in this. I really do. I have to hand it to the writers. These actual stories themselves are interesting. I like this. I'm glad I'm playing this. Now let's see what's next. I've got the dynamite, so I have all the pieces that I should need. Let's save the game here.
Save new game. Replace.
And let's put the dynamite on the plane.
Affirmative, Captain.
And then what, run like hell?
Everyone stay well back.
Nope, everyone just gets down on the ground. Yes, that'll work.
I suppose I should be angry at you, Captain, with your act of vandalism against my beautiful aircraft. But then, barbarians will be barbarians.
There's only one barbarian in the room, Trelane, and I'm looking at him right now.
Huh. So I didn't have to actually walk over to the palace afterward. He just pulled me there.
Release my ship, Trelane. And don't you ever grow up, Trelane? You may have powers of a god, but that doesn't even come close to making you a man. There's only one barbarian in the room, Trelane, and release my ship, Trelane.
My ship? My ship? It's always your ship, your crew. Don't you have anything else to think about? Conquests of your enemies and the fair sex.
Restore the ships you've stolen.
Oh, he's done that plenty of times. Trust me,
You're in
Trelane.
no position to make demands. I am the Baron of Gothas, the most renowned aristocrat in this part of Germany.
This farcical, wildly inaccurate fantasy of yours.
And you are my prisoner, a mere lieutenant colonel.
Jimmy Kirk. Love that.
And I will do with you whatever I want. Why, Captain, do you need another demonstration of my flawless abilities in marksmanship?
Okay, well, obviously something's going to happen here, and it doesn't appear to be on a timer.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
I'm actually going to replace one this time. Okay, let's... What do I have in my inventory I can use on him? I can hit him with a stick!
Put that stick away, Jim.
Damn it, I wanted to hit him with a stick. Well, let's take a look around.
Axe and shield. As with most of Trelane's collection, they are...
Ah, there are the ships in the background! Beautiful.
This bottle contains a very realistic...
That's not a reproduction.
USS
That's the actual ship.
My ship! Bring it back or I'll...
Yes! We killed the red shirt!
Savage than the last one of your officers who made the same mistake. My compliments, Captain, on having such a spirited crew. Truly a testament to your fine leadership.
Release him, Trelane.
I killed the red
Done
shirt!
you no harm. Take me in his place. He's not a member of my crew, and you know it. Besides, he looks rather peaceful standing there. Release him.
Oh,
He's not a member of
God!
my crew.
Are you trying to use me, Captain, to solve your own discipline problems? Take care, Kirk. No one uses the Red Baron of Gotham.
I'm glad to see the deep concern you show for the men under your command. I am truly inspired by you, Kirk.
Come on, you're still alive! Oh, I like that.
If the real thing weren't bad enough, a portrait of the humble Baron of Gothos smirks nauseatingly at you.
Come on, enough snark! I just want to get to...
This
take a look
bottle
around.
contains a very realistic reduction of the SS
It's-
Shinobi, a freighter.
It's not a reproduction!
This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the SS Manikier, a Denebian transport.
I do appreciate the ships in a bottle. That's a nice touch.
This
Come
bottle
on.
contains a very realistic reduction of the USS Enterprise.
Jim, is that what I think it is?
It is the Enterprise, Doctor. It is functioning normally, aside from being trapped. The crew are alive and well.
My latest hobby, gentlemen, putting warships in bottles, celebrating the grand martial heritage of your species.
Told you!
A polar bear rug.
Yeah, that said poor,
An
not
ugly
polar.
gargoyle-like decoration.
A trifle grotesque for the setting, isn't it, Trelane?
Why, Kirk, I wasn't aware of your interest in the design of castles. I hope you like my rug better.
That tells me I should move the rug.
Axe and shield. As with
You already heard that one.
these
Candelabra.
candles illuminate Trelane's self-portrait. Logs.
What? Rolls downstairs, a loner in
A
Paris.
charming brick fireplace.
Alright.
An ugly
A trifle...
Why,
a poor
so you like my rug? I killed the creature myself hunting alone in the Arctic wastes. That was before the war, of course.
Of course.
Perhaps it will make a perfect shroud for you, Kirk, after I've dealt with you once and for all.
I'm telling you, that rug is something.
No unusual...
Damn it! Alright, scan the gargoyles.
Nothing unusual about this object. Nothing.
Do I have to scan the head of the polar bear? Because you know how this game goes, pixel hunt!
No.
No.
Nothing.
Spock seems so dispassionate. Then again,
Nothing.
he really is, so... Nothing, nothing, nothing.
No.
Alrighty, what have I got that I can use on alcohol? Well, let's offer him a drink.
Kirk, we're going to need all of our wits if we
Come
want to
on!
put the alcohol away.
Throwing schnapps into the fire. What a charming custom. Ah, schnapps. A delicacy that most of my subjects find most enjoyable.
Pour it on the rug!
Kirk, we're going to...
If you attempt to steal from my collection, let's see. Oh, I believe the removal of hands was one of your more time-honored punishments.
You know all about punishments, don't you, Trelane?
I would guard your tongue, Captain. I believe the removal of an offensive tongue was an even older tradition than removing hands.
There's gotta
So
be
you
something
like
in
my
here.
rod?
No.
Perhaps it will make a perfect... Oh, a duel with axes! How positively savage!
Now, I wonder if they actually got the
Never
right voice
failed
actor
to
for Trelane.
disappoint me. However, I am the greatest aerial combatant this pitiful planet has ever seen.
Planet
and
that
as
you
such,
created?
Cannot indulge myself in such wonderful barbarism. I will have to find a more civilized way of killing you.
Well, I've already beaten you in the air.
You
cheated,
you cheated! I would...
Can I use a
No
fireplace? No. Can I use a log?
Do you have a plan? I do not see how firewood can help us against Trelane.
There's obviously something I'm missing. As usual. Well, let's try talking to him again. What does he say?
Well, Captain, I suppose you're about to make your grand plan of escape.
You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane, with your replica of the First World War. Why should I have to make a grand plan to escape from a loser like you? I don't have to do anything. Eventually, your parents are going to find you and discipline you again. You must think you're... Why should I have to make a grand...
What?
You're a loser, Trelane. You're an incompetent, self-centered fool who's never succeeded at anything in his life and whines about other people cheating when he fails. You heard me. I called you a loser. I thought you were all-powerful.
Oh my god, can we taunt him?
I call you a loser? Get lost, Trelane. I don't speak to losers like you. You're a loser. You heard me.
Oh, I'm gonna do this. Let's do it.
Hold your tongue, Captain.
From what? From your deranged tantrums? Are you going to break down and cry because Captain Kirk insulted you? Or are you going to throw a fit and hurl him into oblivion?
That does it. Now I have to think of the proper punishment. You inferior creatures have a brief respite before you face my fatal wrath. Well, Captain, I suppose you're
Oh, come on!
grand plan of escape.
You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane. Why? I don't have to do anything. Eventually, your parents are gonna...
Fortunately, Kirk, my parents are otherwise occupied. They won't interrupt me when I'm winning.
But you have to compete first, before you can win. Send the others away, safely, and I'll give you a chance at revenge. That's odd. I was sure I detected other power sources converging towards us when I was on the Enterprise. You weren't winning, Trelane. You never were. You had tremendous powers, you had a weapon, and I didn't. And you still fell on your face. But you have to you weren't winning,
Oh,
Trelane.
let's try it.
But I was having a bad day. Today I'm really going to have fun. The great Baron of Gothis destroys his arch enemy.
Yes, I'm sure you will. Don't use too much of your power and concentration on me, Trelane. You don't use a bazooka to destroy an anthill. No, you won't, Trelane. Because I'm not playing with you any. Yes, I'm sure you know you
Let's
won't.
do it.
What do you mean you're not playing with me? You've got to play with me.
Let's do it.
James
Let's do it. Nope, just nope. I'm taking my ball and going home.
You're a joke, Trelane. A lonely little boy who had to terrorize innocent people because no one will play with him.
That's not true. I've got lots of friends. Millions and millions of friends.
Then why aren't you playing with them, Trelane? Because they laugh at you and call you names, Trelane? Trelane?
Come on, do it.
Stop that. Stop that or I'll destroy you.
Do it, Captain.
Trelane is a pain. Trelane has no brain. Trelane is insane.
All right, you asked for it. Nah, you're not worth killing.
Oh, god damn it.
I'll think of something you can.
Damn it, come on! Ooh, you can almost taunt him into it. That is not fair to to tell us you're so close and then go, nope, that's not the answer. Ah!
All right, Commander, you were about to tell us why you're being so hostile. Let's hear your story.
Does the name Lieutenant Ralph Garvin sound familiar to you? He was my roommate at the academy and was killed by some blood-sucking cloud while on a landing party under your command.
Space is not the safest of
Ah, interesting.
I've always done my best to protect my...
No, you haven't.
Always honored anyone who has lost their life under my command.
The Enterprise is routinely assigned to unknown and extremely dangerous.
Well, this is true.
I have always made it a policy to lead landing parties and share the risk with my men.
This is also true.
I suppose you've never lost someone under your command, Commander. You've never felt the loss of a subordinate while you've been on the landing party. When you become a captain of the starship, you'll have every right to judge me.
No,
We're in the middle of
don't.
a life and death situation. I expect you to act like a Starfleet officer. I have always made it a policy.
Yeah, let's actually go with this one, because this is true. In fact, this is something that if you watch The Next Generation, they make a point, no, Captain, you're not allowed to go on the landing parties. That's extremely dangerous. You can't do it. You're too important to lose.
Captain, if I see you do anything that puts us or our escape at risk, you'll regret it.
I'm not interested in vendettas. I'm interested in survival. If you have a problem with me, you can wait until everyone's safe. Is that clear, Commander?
Yes, sir.
Damn, nothing new there.
I can suggest no logical course of action that can resolve this dilemma.
This is hardly a logical situation, Mr. Spock.
This is true. Come on.
Still, I wonder if Trelane realizes the extent of his misrepresentation.
Okay, so that tells me I should just tell him everything that's wrong. Okay, let's do this.
Captain, I suppose you're about to make your grand plan of escape.
You You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane, with your replica of the First World War.
Okay, let's do this. Let's point out all the flaws, because that's what Spock told me to do.
Why, thank you, Captain.
I wasn't complimenting you, Trelane. I've never seen such a piece of nonsense in my life. Although you could have made that trench scene much more realistic. If World War I had been the way you depicted, human history would have been a lot less bloody. I wasn't complimenting you, Trelane, although you could have made that trench scene much more realistic.
Let's do this.
Really, Captain?
Look into the memory banks of the Enterprise, Trelane, recreate what's in there, and let me show you firsthand
there you go.
the glory of one of the bloodiest conflicts in human history. Not a liar, just misinformed. Use the memory banks of the Enterprise, Trelane. Recreate what's in there. War at its most realistic and terrifying.
Ah, I see they did the wrong voice line. Again, this one has just been full of it. Okay, good, good. Now let's talk to him.
Captain Kirk, I hope you had a good reason for dragging me out in the mud in the middle of the rain.
Look around you, Trelane. Is this glory? Is this valor? Smell the stench of death. While knights fought in the sky, millions died in the mud. Diseased, starving, mutilated. Is this the sort of game you want to play, Trelane? For once in your life, Trelane, shut up and look around you. Look around, Trelane. Take in the ambience, the romance of this place. Look at the proud soldiers celebrating the glories of war.
Oh, I am so tempted to give that nice sarcastic answer
Trelane.
there.
Is this glory?
Let's go with the safe one though.
Smell.
But these people lost, Kirk. Shame and suffering is supposed to befall the losers in war.
These were the winners, Trelane. You're inhuman, Trelane. You play games with people and ignore their suffering, just like the people who sent these men to die. You should have been a politician. If you have any real courage, Trelane, if you want to experience real warfare, put yourself in their place. No powers, no titles. Experience the glory of war firsthand, like these men did. These were the winners, Trelane.
Oh, yes! Gloriously sacrificing their lives for king and country.
So
We are the
close.
dead. Short days ago, we lived, loved, and were loved. And now we lie in Flanders Field. There was no glorious cause. No glory in dying, in wasting your life without reason. These men knew pain, they knew anguish, but if you could feel what they felt, you would find very little excitement about war, or duty, or honor. You would not wish to experience the emotions they felt, Trelane. What you want to feel, Trelane, is a romance, a fiction, a lie crafted by humanity for generations to cover up the pain. We've learned to live without that lie, learned that our lives are better without it. I hope one day you learn it too.
Are you finished?
Not until I've taught you some sense or until I'm dead.
You're no fun anymore, Kirk. No fun at all. You're preachy just like them. Anything I'm
Who's
interested
them?
in
The
is
parents?
always wrong.
Release my ship. Trelane, look around you. Does this look right to you? Trelane, you don't go around hurting people and expect them to treat it as though they're having fun. The first thing a life form learns is to avoid pain. Release my... Trelane, look around you. Does this look right to you?
But I didn't cause this, Kirk. It was your own species' suicidal tendencies that did this.
Trelane, if I admit that I cheated on our last
Don't do
encounter,
that.
Can I have my ship back? Trelane, you're not experiencing the pain that people felt. You're supposed to sympathize with them.
Don't like that one either.
You can keep the Enterprise. All I want is your tripod. Trelane,
No,
you're
no.
not experiencing...
But I'm a superior life form. I don't have to sympathize with them.
Really? I thought the reason you kidnapped us was so that you could experience human emotions. So we could drive you to
Answers are
feel
so
rage and
close,
hatred
but they don't
and
really
the emotions
seem
of
right.
war.
That is enough. Your preaching is not welcome. I am Trelane, the Baron of Gothas. The war is over, Captain. You can take your ships and leave. The Baron
It was
of Gothas
close,
doesn't
so
need you
close, but I
anymore.
don't quite like the way that ended.
Captain's log. The missing starships have been restored to normal size and are about to return to their assigned missions. It was horrible, Mr. Spock. Trelane recreated one of the greatest tragedies in human history. I've seen a lot, but even that...
The waste of lives is appalling, even when one operates by pure logic. When one considers what those millions of lives that were lost might have done for humanity had the war never taken place. We received the message from the Zimbabwe. It left rather abruptly.
A shame that Mr. Ellis and I could not have settled our differences. He might have made a good officer for the Enterprise.
Unfortunately, Captain, life doesn't always go the way we'd like it. Happy endings are...
So this is not going to be a very good, very high-scoring ending, but...
Hello, Captain. I'm Captain Gernsbeck of the Shinobi. I thought I would thank you personally before
there
we
we
left for
go.
Cephas 5.
A pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Have we met before, Captain? There's something familiar.
Perhaps we did, on some other planet, in some other star system, sometime long ago.
Message from Starfleet Command.
So I did well.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed with the results.
What? Come on! It wasn't even that great!
Work, Jim. Keep up the good work. Kane out.
Whatever. It's over. I succeeded without looking anything up! Yay!
Captain's log.
Alright, light and
While
darkness.
exploring an uncharted star system in the Deneb sector, we received what we think is a message from a distress beacon on Onias 2. We're en route to investigate.
Okay. Onias 2.
Save new. Replace previous game.
Alright. Pause. Onias 2. I gotta look up my star map again, because that's how this game works. Onias 2 is over here. This should be Onias 2.
Approaching Onias 2, Captain.
It may be nothing, Captain, but a scan of the planet's atmosphere indicates a high concentration of rare gases trapped in the planet's magnetosphere. Atmospheric disturbances could produce random radio waves.
It wouldn't be the first time, Mr. Spock, but we'll never be able to tell if we don't check it out. After all, to seek out new life and new civilizations is our mission, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
A split infinitive, Captain.
What?
The proper grammatical expression is to go boldly where no man has gone before.
Somehow, I think it loses a little in the translation.
I wonder how long somebody was sitting on wanting to say that one.
Save new. Replace previous game.
Alright. Is it O to orbit?
Standard orbit.
Yes, O to orbit. And then we'll have to try to beam down. B?
Captain, our sensors will not be particularly useful to you while you're down there. And communications may be erratic, sir.
What else is new?
What reason is there to worry?
I'm afraid, Captain, there are plenty of precedents. We'll be here if you need us.
I have no doubt of that.
Another good answer.
Signal to its source. It is near the life forms. The rest of the planet is quite desolate. No sign of life or technology. The atmosphere is thin, but breathable. And I detect numerous micrometeorite hits.
There are 3 unformed planets in this system. It's no wonder. There are so many micrometeorites. I'm surprised any Class M planet hasn't been pulverized by now.
It is not
If it's a
inconceivable,
micrometeorite, it should not hit a Class M
Let's do it,
planet.
Spock. You, McCoy, and I. Oh, and tell Bones to see if a genetic specialist's available. If there are only 2 life forms, we might be privileged to see life at its earliest stages.
Oh, we have a 4th party member this time.
Seems to me as if we've landed on a skeleton after the vultures have picked it clean.
A fascinating analogy, Doctor. Captain, the locus of the distress signal is in that building.
I think the doctor is right. Anything good here died a long time ago. It feels creepy to me.
Thank you for that opinion, Mr. Johns. I'll be certain to use creepy in my log entry about this.
Okay, so now we're on another planet.
Save new game.
As I was saying,
Previous game.
micrometeors should not hit a planet with atmosphere. The atmosphere will burn the meteors up. It's, you know, re-entry is a bitch. You get all kinds of friction, and micrometeors would be torn to pieces, which is why when things actually hit the surface here, they tend to have started much larger. And that's what M-class planets are. M-class are the ones that are inhabitable for life. They have an atmosphere. So it should not be possible for micrometeors to hit it. Now, micrometeors hit the moon all the damn time. But, alright, let's go in the building. And we're dead. Ooh, what is this? Ooze. Let's
Well, I have to hand it to whoever built this place. All this equipment looks brand new and in good repair.
Let's hope the Enterprise looks this good when it's this old.
We should be very careful about how we proceed, Captain. I have a strange feeling that evil is lurking nearby.
Evil, Ensign?
Something that wants to imperil our souls, sir. We must avoid that at all costs.
Interesting. First off, I'm scanning this
I'm
shit.
just a simple country doc.
Well, I guess I'm not scanning it as a life form. Thought it'd be like some kind of moss or
Readings
ooze or something.
indicate that along with oxidation and dust, there is
See,
some
organic!
in the crust-like buildup.
Organic means medical tricorder, dude.
Just a simple... I don't understand.
Alright, well, let's look around.
Captain, these doors protect the unit from debris when not in use.
If not for a thin covering of red dust, you would assume this DNA replicator had just been unboxed and set up.
DNA replicator?
Aside from minor differences in styling, this looks remarkably like a Tellarite 8000 DNA sequencer.
Okay, why does one have red and one have silver?
Aside from minor differences in styling, this looks remarkably... If not for a thin covering...
Let's scan it. Because we're back to this is what the beginning of all of these missions are. Go from room to room to room, scanning and looking at everything to try to piece together what to do. That's not a complaint. That's just how this works. This part's going to be kind of boring as I look around and try to figure out what's going on.
This sequencer appears to be nearly 50,000 years old. Yet it has not broken down and appears to be fully powered. Aside from some dust and dirt and a small chemical deposit on the intake nozzle, this DNA replicator appears to be in the same condition that it was 50,000 years ago.
Except shit's leaking out of it. Alright, well, I'm going to go to a different room and look around. Oh, no! Okay, there we go. I keep forgetting he walks the wrong direction when going back. Why? Why do that? What kind of pathing is that? Okay, we have a... Oh, hello!
I welcome you, otherworlders. I beseech you, save us from that which seeks our destruction.
How fitting for a devil to appear on a world that looks like hell.
Oh, shut up.
That, Mr. Johns. This is just another xenobiological entity.
Correction, Doctor. This is a projection of a xenobiological entity.
Jim, the only life form readings are within that machine behind the portal. Single-cell organisms with an extremely high reproductive rate, but a very poor metabolism and an extremely short lifespan.
Well, let's talk to this thing and see what's going on.
Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you? So, when do the wicked witches and goblins show up? Your emergency beacon and statement lead me to believe you see more of an emergency than exists here. Greetings, I am James T.
let's
Kirk
not do
of
that.
the USS Enterprise.
Let's
what can we do for
be
you?
diplomatic and ignore the freak. Why did we bring this guy down? Why did we bring someone down who's... Oh, it's evil, it's terrible, you're a devil. Shut the hell up.
I am Visner of the Alphen people. Our race possessed this world and thrived here until the invasion by the forces of light. We are locked in a death struggle with them, for they desire our destruction. Do you aid them?
No, we do not aid them. Wars and destruction are not things we value, Visner. Our prime directive prevents us from interfering in internal struggles. But at the request of all parties, we might negotiate a compromise.
Good
Forgive
answer.
me, but I find that claim insupportable. This world, while grim, hardly looks like a battleground. Who is trying to destroy it? Wars and destruction are
Okay,
not things we value.
prediction time!
Prime directive prevents us from
My
interfering in
prediction
internal
is
struggles. But at the
the
request of all
light
parties,
and
we might
darkness
negotiate a compromise.
are the two groups of bacteria, basically, that are growing. There's talking life form a whole bunch of single cells in here that quickly reproduce, but also die just as fast, basically. That's the darkness side. The other side is probably going to be the light side, hence why the two DNA replicators, one of them had the silver band, one of them had the darker bronze band, light and dark. So, that's my prediction. So, we'll see how well this holds up.
You open yourself to confusion in speaking with Azra, but it is understandable that you want to hear his side before acting. My assessment of you suggests that most of you will fight the clouding of logic and will see through Azra's deception. Please report to me your success.
Most of you will fight the cloud of logic. I think he's saying that Spock here is the one to, I don't know, mess up or be right, be the one you look at.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
Okay, well, what is this
The
object?
computer console has a conventional keyboard which is covered by odd symbols you do not immediately recognize.
Okay.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Well, so far, my interest has been piqued. Because if this really is these two effectively warring sides of bacteria, that's an interesting setup. See? Dark, light. Let's go find out. Except this side's getting corrupted and corroded. So there's the light side.
Greetings, gentle beings, and welcome. I am Azra of the Omegan people. You are the salvation we have long sought. Thank you for answering our summons.
An angel!
Actually,
Shut up, Johns!
Mr. Johns.
Jim, somewhere in that machine behind the portal are single-cell organisms. They have a healthy metabolism and long lifespan, but an extremely low rate of reproduction.
And those are the ones that are projecting themselves here. The answer is going to be somewhere in the middle. You know it. It always is, but... God, I hate this guy, seriously. I already hate the guy we brought with us. Really? You're going to pull the religion stuff? You guys realize that religion basically isn't a thing on Star Trek. At least not for humans anymore. It is for other species. You have the whole Deep Space Nine with the prophets, which, you know, were actually real.
Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you?
Let's do it. Same answer I gave the other side. We'll find out what other answers
so
are
where's
real.
the
Whoops.
emergency? All right, I know you're just a projection. Let's speak with your greetings.
No,
I am James
no,
T.
don't do
Kirk
that.
of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you?
I am Azra of the Omegan people, an ancient and venerable race which labors to prevent the domination of this world by the forces of darkness. We require you to expunge this place of our mortal enemies.
That's not going to happen.
The most worthwhile purpose in life is to fight
Oh,
against
shut up,
We must
Johns!
help him.
Enemies? This world is so barren that all the life on it is located right here. If you have mortal enemies, we've not seen them. Who are you talking about? Our prime directive prohibits us from taking part in wars on one side or the other. It would be seen as intervention. We are willing to negotiate a compromise. You will forgive me if I don't fall for a pretty face. I'm not about to expunge anyone. And I will take no action until I've heard both sides of the story. Enemy, our prime directive prohibits...
Same answer I gave the other side.
You imperil your soul by conversing with the enemy, that sugar-tongued Vizner. I cannot protect you, but I do not imagine I can dissuade you either. Go, do what you must. I do not have that much time, but will be here if you seek to comply with my request.
There's no need to leave. We've already talked with Vizner. I have to say that I find many of your claims insupportable.
Insupportable? How can you defend a race whose very existence is based upon deceit and foul lies?
Foul lies? Their position contradicts yours, but there are similarities. You dwell on your differences so much, you just can't see them. Frankly, Azra Vizner is quite rational and makes your impassioned pleas for genocide sound psychotic. For a being of goodness, you're rather bloodthirsty. Maybe you should try practicing
don't mistake
what you
light
preach.
for goodness.
Foul lies?
Let's go with
Their
this
position-
answer.
Captain, they're as different as...
Oh,
angels
shut
and
up, Johns!
Similarities? They are beings of shadow. They mock our perfection. They are our antithesis, created after we were to destroy us and our potential for good.
You repeatedly proclaim yourself good and suggest you are morally superior to the Alphans. Why don't you act like it? If you're so perfect, how come you need our help? You said they were created after you were. How do you know that?
Good question.
You
Let's
repeat
find
you
out.
said they were created.
We know we came first because that is what our sacred scriptures tell us. In the light we were born and commanded to shun that which dwells in darkness. This clearly tells us that we came first. Surely you can see that. Or is it that you have some other interpretation of the event that birthed the Omegans?
Does your sacred scriptures explicitly say that no beings were created before you?
Dare you suggest they came first?
No, we're
Let's
just
see what we've
asking.
got. 2 single-celled organisms, each incapable of survival on their own. One lives in light, the other lives in darkness. Each must live a limited and unstable life without the other.
Captain, do you know what you're doing?
Allow us to unite you again. Your combined strengths will make you a viable entity again.
The persuasiveness of your arguments has opened for me a door through which I spy a future and a truth that I have long denied. You are correct. Perhaps being only half of a whole, I could not see the solution. Yes, I desire your help for my people. Help us.
Yeah. God, this is going to be a short one if this is it. There's something I'm missing. There has to be a whole other...
Save new game. Replace
a whole other part of this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind if it's a short one. I really don't mind if it's a short one. But the real problem is that one of these replicators is dying.
The sample dish feels warm to the touch.
Well, let's take a look at this machine again.
A large alien computer. The thick glass window and the light coming from it make it difficult to see beyond it, though you get the impression of a living plasma swirling behind it.
Good. They just give us a sample, not their whole race. That's actually a concern. Okay, what is... There's this other middle chamber up here. What could that possibly be? Now if I take this into the darkness, is it gonna die? We'll find out, won't we? No, this room is not dark, so...
The thick glass window and the light...
Well, let's try using the machine real quick. Bring Visor back.
Maybe I should ask Spock to take...
Okay, Spock! I like the fact that at least in this chapter it does it automatically.
Reactivating Visner, Captain.
Alright, Visner, let's talk to you again.
Was it not as I said it would be? Are not the Omegans
They are.
a fanatical race, uninterested in anything but fulfilling some self-contradictory messianic destiny for themselves?
I agree.
I assume they filled your heads with their warped theology.
No, they didn't.
Frankly, Visner, Azra is certainly committed to his cause, but hardly the blood-mad fanatic you describe him to be.
Actually, he really was.
Warped theology. It is true they differ greatly from you, but your worldviews are based on common beliefs. You see things from different perspectives, that's all. Frankly, Visner, warped theology. It is true...
Were you utterly ungrounded in logic? They are creatures of superstition. They invaded our world, then sought to drive us from it. How can you suggest we are anything alike?
You question my grounding in logic, but you don't apply logic to an examination of Alphan beliefs.
Alphan and Omegan,
Are they
of
concerned with
course.
the same things you are. You're supposed to be the reasonable one. Your facts can't be very persuasive if you aren't willing to try and find common ground. You said they usurped your place in the world, which suggests prior ownership by you. What evidence do you have to support that concept? You question
Let's
my
do it.
ground.
Let's
You
ask
said
the
they usurped
same
your
questions
place in the
we
world,
ask the
which
Omegans.
suggests prior ownership by you.
We know we came first because they invaded us. An invasion suggests they came to take away that which we possessed. Clearly you can see that.
How do you know they didn't exist on this world before you encountered them?
Do you further suppose they came first and we invaded them?
I see there are only single-celled organisms here, each with a defect. Perhaps at one time, the Alpha and Omega life forms were united. A strong, viable species that became divided. Only by reuniting can you hope to survive. And only through mutual cooperation and our help can you reunite.
Captain, this thing is evil.
Shut up, Johns!
Unite them.
Your position is unassailable and points out the one and only purpose for our races. Thank you, Captain Kirk, for making me see that. Yes, I desire your help for my people. Help us.
Okay, let's go get the second sample.
You take the alpha sample, which feels cold to the touch.
And merge them together and everything explodes.
Save
God,
new
wouldn't that be
game.
something if it actually did
Previous
explode?
game.
Like, I'm like, building the doomsday weapon here. Wouldn't that be the thing? Oh, whoops! This ends all life in the universe if we mix them together. That was a bad idea! We need to figure out a way to clean that, I think. That's the problem right now. Okay, we have a third machine.
A large alien computer. A viewing port into the genetic holding tank.
Well, let's see what happens when we do this. Put the first sample inside.
They began multiplying at a phenomenal rate, so fast that they couldn't absorb enough energy to survive.
No, I don't think... No,
I don't...
No.
Dang it. Let's try that again. Do I have to mix the two and then put them in that? I mean, this seems like such a very simple one, and I don't mind that. I actually kind of like the fact that this is as quick and basic so far by the looks of it, which is good. I mean, they don't all have to be these big, massive, sprawling stories like Trelane was.
No, I don't think that's...
Okay, put that in here.
I don't think that's necessary.
That in the slot.
The Omegans seemed to metabolize at a phenomenal rate, so fast they couldn't cope. Their own energy efficiency caused them to consume themselves.
Okay, you here. Can I put this one in now?
Interesting. They began multiplying at a phenomenal rate, so fast that they couldn't absorb enough energy to survive.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, I'm missing something here. So it's not just a matter of putting them both in. I don't want to just lose them either, because basically I just killed a whole bunch of... Basically I just killed possibly what is a bunch of sentient life. Don't want to do that! But I thought it can, combine the two. Is there a way to put them both in at the same time? These are DNA replicator machines. So what happens if I do this?
I don't know why, but I could not get a good sampling.
Okay. Can I put it in this one?
No, I don't... No, I don't...
Couldn't get a good sampling. It's because of the corruption over here?
This sample sequence is like a dream.
I think it's because of this corruption over here. That or I have to go to that side with it.
I don't know why.
No, I don't...
I was unaware you had Captain, Ensign Johns would be the ideal person to operate this device. It appears to be ancient, yet resembles devices that were introduced into the Federation last year.
No effect.
Captain, we have to run a set of source samples through the sequencer before I can make a composite sample with the replicator. Wow, this is almost identical to an 8000 sequencer. Cutting-edge Federation technology. Just input a sample, and the sequencer analyzes it so it can be spliced or altered on the genetic level with the replicator.
Okay, but one of the samples isn't working. Why not?
Boy, these Alphans are healthy little beggars. They're multiplying at a phenomenal rate. These Omegans are incredible. They metabolize almost everything, which explains how they give off that glow.
But when I put you in the machine, it breaks.
I don't know why, but I could not get a good sampling.
See, there's the problem. Can you examine...
No effect. No effect.
Spock, what's going on over here?
Readings indicate that along with oxidation and dust, there is some organic residue in the crust-like buildup.
Okay. Can I scan it?
I'm just a simple... This isn't...
You can't do anything
No.
with it. You can't do anything with it. You just scan it. That's not useful. I need to clean it up. Well, let's go back and talk to... Whoops. Let's talk to this side and say, hey, we've encountered a problem.
You get no response.
Fine. You use it.
I do not see the logic in that. I do not see... I sense no intelligence from the creatures beyond this glass. This colony of creatures appears viable for the short term.
Let's put it back in and talk to him.
No, I don't. No. No.
Something's wrong.
I was unaware.
No, I...
Wow. Captain, we have to run a set of source samples through the sequencer before I can make a composite sample with the replicator.
No effect.
Why isn't this other one working?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Nothing to report, Captain.
Tourist season's not over, Lieutenant.
So when do we get shore leave, Captain?
Lieutenant, if I scheduled shore leave down on this planet, I'd be the most unpopular captain in the Star Fleet.
Yeah.
Kirk out.
Why isn't this working? If I go in here... Something's wrong. I'm missing. I don't know what. Okay, well, what happens now if I use this in here? It dies, right?
Seem to...
Yeah.
I don't know anything. No, I don't...
Spock.
The narrow width of the keyboard indicates the creatures who designed it were possessed of hands with only 3 fingers and a thumb.
I'm not so good.
Okay. Load the game, because I think I just killed somebody. I can sequence one, but not the other. Why can't I sequence the other? Something's wrong, and I can't figure out what! See, okay, what happens if I try putting it in this machine?
No, I don't think that's necessary. No, I don't.
That's the output machine.
I don't know why, but I could not get a good sampling.
This DNA sequencer, aside from some dust and dirt and a small chemical deposit on the intake nozzle, this DNA replicator appears...
Okay, let's go outside and see if there's something I'm missing. Oh, hello!
An antenna. I wonder what it was meant for.
That's what we're here to find out, Mr. Johns.
The control mechanism for the array. Unlike the rocks surrounding it, the sensor array dish looks fairly new.
No, let's scan this.
The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage. The focal point of the dish is aligned approximately 35 degrees above the horizon.
Spock, see what you can do with this.
Captain, until power has been returned to these controls, there is nothing I can do.
How do we return power to it then, Spock? Should we shoot it?
This appears to be similar to Federation technology, Captain. Its control principles are similar to the Madai sensor dish on Vulcan. It has locked the array at a 35-degree angle. Without knowledge of the code control sequence, I cannot adjust it. I also detect that its power core is not functioning. It operates on geothermal energy, tapping into heat from the ground below.
Let's try shooting a rock.
Destroying the control mechanism, I had not thought of making the array appear as weathered as the rocks, but then I rely on logic to govern my actions.
Okay, is there anything else in this area? No, that appears to be it. Come on, Captain. Go back there. Find out what's going on. Now can I go this way, Captain? What's on this side? Another one! Okay.
The array is a precision instrument that shows a high degree of machining. Captain, these controls do not seem to be functioning properly.
Same scan, Doc, or Spock.
The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage, though support beneath the base is weak and crumbled. It is aligned to a point approximately 35 degrees above the horizon.
Okay, we got a problem on this one.
Captain, the controls indicate the device is aligned at an angle approximately 35 degrees above the horizon. There appears to be some sort of anomaly in the control program that has misaligned the controls, but my tricorder is unable to determine it. Without a method of determining the proper angle, I am afraid I cannot realign the dish.
Okay, well there we go. That might be what's causing the one to not work. I know it doesn't look like it's connected, but, you know, it's a point-click adventure game. We have no idea. And there's a third one. Spock starts scanning.
The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage.
Also 35 degrees.
This appears to be similar to Federation technology, Captain.
Whoever made these arrays, they made them to last. Spock should know how it works.
Captain, until power, the array dish is quite sturdy and doubtless still functional.
Okay, so something's wrong elsewhere on the planet. And it would appear to be those are the three. So we got one at 35, one at 35, and one at 35 and broken.
In sharp contrast to the surrounding stones. This seems... Harsh winds and meteorite strikes have sorely weathered these ancient rocks.
I believe phasering the array into slag. I believe phasering the controls will not give us access to the sensor array.
No, but it's power I'm worried about, and I've got a power source.
Jim, this isn't funny.
Okay, what is
Scotty,
this?
I need a calculation from the main computer.
While I know the computers on the Enterprise aren't quite as good as our engines, I think you'll manage.
Ah, Scott.
That was too easy, Mr. Spock. The angle is 32.5 degrees.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
So is there anything else you need, Captain?
Not now, Scotty. Kirk out.
Okay, well, you've figured this
I
one
really
out.
don't think this is the sort.
No, you go adjust
the array
this.
is a precision instrument. Captain, I cannot realign the sensor until power has been returned.
How do we return the power?
I will need to adjust the control before the sensor array is realigned.
How do we adjust the power?
The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage, though support beneath the base is weak and crumbled.
Save new game. Replace pre...
Okay. Again, let's try using the power.
Phasering the control.
No, you can't
It's
do it.
interesting that the control mechanism seems to have lasted as long as the actual array without taking damage.
How about you? You got anything for me?
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe we'll let Spock work with the controls.
Which you
Captain,
can't do until
I-
power has been restored. Can we restore the
Phasering the
power?
control. I recommend...
Jim, if you lost your... Jim, this is...
Captain, we are too far from the thermal core to sufficiently heat it.
Maybe it's even worth a try shooting rocks. So where's the thermal core? Probably significantly lower. Okay, start phasering again. Shoot rocks.
The energy level is insufficient, Captain. We cannot generate the energy level needed to provide geothermal energy with hand phasers.
If it's thermal energy you want, Jim, I remember this planet that used a starship's phasers on a microwave setting to heat the surrounding rock to provide temporary power.
An interesting observation, Doctor. We could use the same technique here, but the beam would have to be extremely precise. If we targeted the wrong section, we could melt the rock and destroy the array.
Which is why that one has a weak base. Which means if we do that, it would break.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
But can we do that?
Fascinating. I had... Destroying the... I had not thought of making the...
He says he's heard of a way of doing this, but we don't know how. That and, you know, which of these phaser settings would be appropriate.
Standard Starfleet.
Let's
Standard
use stun setting.
Fascinating. Captain, that act... Fascinating.
Sit there and shoot rocks all day long.
Captain, we are too far from... Captain, we... Captain, we are too...
Who knows?
It is fascinating.
Just randomly shooting rocks at this point.
Jim, all you're doing is turning this rock planet into a gravel planet.
Captain, I do... Captain, I... Captain...
Jim, all you... Jim, all you're doing...
Wow.
Jim,
The
all
lasers are actually hitting right where I'm pointing it.
Jim, all you... Jim, all you...
Okay, well let's scan these then.
This rock is a secondary formation produced by the interaction of plates, earthquakes, and volcanism.
So it is actually, as you saw, the laser was going exactly where I pointed it. It wasn't just randomly hitting the rock. So that tells me that that is the right answer.
This rock is a
I just have to find the spot to shoot.
These rocks are approximately 1.3 billion years old. Nothing unusual. These rocks. These rocks.
And this is the one that I need to heat up.
These rocks are... Nothing unusual.
So still nothing. This mission is turning out longer than I expected it to.
Captain, although this rock formation does indirectly lead to the thermal core, I suggest finding an area that would allow a more direct transfer of energy. Nothing These rocks are approximately...
So, okay, it is this rock by the looks of it.
These rocks are approximately 1.3 billion years old and are volcanic in origin. This appears to be the most accessible spot to heat the rocks below the ground and generate geothermal energy for the array.
Okay, good. That means I found it. No, no, don't scan the phaser. Okay, let's try this.
Save new. Replace previous game.
Shoot the rock. Spock, did that heat it up?
Captain, until power... Nothing unusual.
How do I know one of these is the right one?
Nothing.
Spock? No, no. Spock? Phaser.
Nothing.
How about the big phaser? Set it to the right frequency, please?
Nothing. This appears to be the most accessible spot to heat the rocks below.
Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit there and keep shooting it.
You know, Jim, this...
Aside from this sensor...
Come on. I have to switch the phaser to a different setting.
Standard Starfleet.
Yeah, let's try using
Kirk to
comms.
Enterprise. Sulu, can you read me?
Sulu here, Captain. How can I help you?
The Enterprise should broadcast...
Oh, there we go!
...microwave beam at the coordinates I am sending.
We have them, Mr. Spock. Get ready. Stand away from the blast area.
Stand by, ready for weapons position.
So it's not my phasers, it's the ship's phasers. Gotcha.
Sending microwaves now.
Cool, cutscene! I approve of this.
Temperature near the power coupling is rising rapidly. I estimate a below-ground temperature of 345 degrees Kelvin is required to reactivate the array. It is at 320, 330, 335, 340, 345, 350.
Shut off the beam, Mr. Sulu.
Affirmative, Captain.
Okay, so that one's
The
good.
array is now drawing power. We were successful.
The question is, if I go to this one, which is one that needs adjusting, was I successful or did I blow it the hell up? Okay, Spock, you want to set this one to 32.5?
I am now attempting to realign the device to 32.5 degrees. It should now be correctly aligned.
Okay, progress.
Save new game. Replace previous.
I like this. Remember, it's a point and click. All that matters, you keep doing things until something has changed. Okay, now let's see if I can get a good sequence out of that. Yeah, I know. All that just to see if I can get a good sequence from this thing.
I don't know why, but I could not get a good
Oh,
sample.
come on! I'm trying to figure out how these two things are connected and what they could possibly be.
Nothing to report, Captain.
Tourist seat.
So
Lieutenant.
Nothing new there. Do I have to adjust all of the signals or just the one? Like Spock, do they all have to be adjusted, or is everything fine?
The parameters of this sensor have been preset. I suggest we do not change them unnecessarily. The array dish appears to have escaped much.
Okay, so that one seems to be working fine now.
The array is a precision instrument that...
Okay, that one's working. If the array is aligned, what am I missing?
Captain, the parameters of the array dish is quite...
No, it's just those three, and it's aligned now. Okay, well, what does it mean?
We're ready to assist in any way we can, Captain. Scout out.
Doesn't mean anything yet. Okay, well, if that one's been calibrated, what did calibrating it do? Oh wait, that was actually the third machine back here, wasn't it?
Save new game. Replace delete previous game. Replace
Okay, let's... Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to put this in, and it's going to immediately melt and be gone.
The Omegans seem to metabolize it. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
As I figured, didn't work. So... Although that's probably needed for that part. But I still have to figure out why I can't get a sample from these guys.
No, I don't. No. No, I don't. No, I. No, I. No. No, I. No.
Okay.
Boy, these alpha.
Dang it, I keep hitting the wrong button. U is use, I is inventory. They're right next to each other, and I keep hitting the wrong one.
This quality of creatures appears viable for the short term only.
Can I
Jim,
shoot
this
it?
isn't...
You have just killed the life forms in that dish.
Whoops, let's not do that again.
Captain, destroying the equipment will achieve nothing. Captain.
There's nothing there that requires a ship's medical kit. It's a medical... This is...
Ah!
Kirk to
Mr.
Oh, never mind.
I'm just a... I'm just...
Clean the crap off that machine.
A unique use of a phaser, but adequate for removing the deposits from the apparatus.
That actually worked?
I don't know why, but I could not get it.
I'm still missing a part. Okay. I've cleaned the machine.
Replace previous game.
Now will it work functional perfectly?
It is a fully functional genetic replicator, Captain.
So it won't have any contamination now. Why can't the other one get a sample?
This DNA.
Okay, well I know I can get a sample of this one, no problem. Let's actually do that and then save. Make sure I've got a sample of it.
This sample sequence is like a dream.
Okay, so that one we know has been done.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
Okay, what happens if I try putting this on this side now?
No, I don't.
This one won't sample.
I don't know why, but I could not get a good sampling.
So there's something missing. Spock, what is it?
I'm just a...
Captain, Ensign Johns would be...
Wow, this is almost identical to an 8000 sequence. Wow. Wow. Captain, we have to run a set of source samples through the sequencer before I can make a composite sample with the replicator.
If not for a thin covering of red dust,
It is a fully...
What am I missing?
This DNA sequencer appears to be near...
Can I shoot it?
Violence is hardly... Violence. Violent.
This isn't a matter... I'm just a...
Nothing to...
Tourist seasons.
So
Okay, how about I talk to you guys? Why can't I get a
Ensign,
sample?
let Dr. McCoy try that troublesome sequence.
I can do the job, sir, if I can have some peace and quiet here.
Mr. Johns, I think I'm getting a clear picture here.
Interesting. Aha.
Do you realize that insubordination is an offense punishable by a court-martial?
Okay, so the problem is Johns
It
isn't
looks
letting
to me
me.
that you're deliberately trying to mislead us. That's not a good career move. Calm down, Ensign. No one is criticizing you. I just need answers. Mr. Johns, I think I'm... Calm down, Ensign. No one is criticizing you. I just need answers.
Oh, there we go. That might have been the problem the whole time. It wasn't the problem with the machine, it was a problem with Johns.
I appreciate the offer, Captain, but I know what's right and wrong here, so I don't need your help.
Ensign, I appreciate your situation, but this is not the time for philosophy. You have a job to do. Ensign, you are here as a genetic engineer, not as a philosopher. I expect my orders to be obeyed, and if you have a problem with them, I don't expect to be deliberately misled. I could really use a Tellarite security officer right now. Ensign, I appreciate your situation, but this is not the time for philosophy. You have a job to do.
You don't understand, Captain. Look at the Alphans and look at the Omegans. There's so much evil in the universe. You're asking me to destroy a race of good and beauty by mixing their genetics with something
Come
ugly,
on,
something
dude.
evil.
So
I
we got
can't
more
do it.
bugs in the
Ensign,
dialogue.
these Alphans and Omegans are single-celled creatures. Those projections are only constructs. Examine them yourself. Could their DNA produce creatures like Azra and Visner?
Good
I am
answer.
asking you to do nothing of the kind, Ensign. You believe in the struggle of good against evil, and I respect that. But the application of your philosophical perspective is misplaced here. The Alphans and Omegans are single-celled creatures. They are no more capable of good or evil than a triple.
Oh, but triples are evil. Just ask any Klingon.
Ensign, I think you're confusing things. The Alphans and Omegans are single-celled creatures. While the projections may have seemed sophisticated and human, they are constructs. You can look at the sequence and tell what you have there for DNA could never produce such a creature, can't you? Ensign, these Alphans
Let's try
and
it.
Omegans are single-celled creatures.
Single cells. You're right. I've been a real idiot, judging a book by its cover. I suppose I should take a refresher course in Aesop.
It wouldn't hurt. Some of the wisest people in history have written for children.
Thank you, sir. I hope you'll give me a chance to correct my mistakes. Do you think we're really meant to combine
Yes,
the two races?
yes I do.
You've programmed the sequences. You can tell whether they're compatible.
Sir, the sequencer indicates that they need to be combined for their continual survival. But how did you know?
I listened to Dr. McCoy. It seemed the logical conclusion, given the evidence.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay, well, now that we've talked to the dude, now we should be able to sequence it. Okay, I like that. I wasn't expecting that to be the answer, but I'm glad that it was. Mind you, like I say,
Alpha sample is sequenced.
not really the best thing in the world,
Captain,
but...
we have to run...
Okay, they've both been sequenced, haven't they?
This sample sequence is like a dream. Captain, we have to run a...
We've done that
I was
now.
unaware you had Captain, Ensign Johns would be the ideal person to...
Okay, we've sampled both of them.
The two samples have joined together as easily as if they had once been a whole and had been separated before.
Any race
Good.
that had this technology 50,000 years ago could possibly have been able to perform such a dissection and kept both halves alive.
Captain, with the samples sequenced together, I'm ready to use the replicator to produce a sample with the combined genetic data.
Good, good. Then do it.
I am producing a new culture, Captain.
Excellent.
The genetic sequence is still stored in the computer. If we need another sample, the replicator can generate it.
Which we might later. We'll find out. But I think doing the repair on the...
I officially christen this life form the Gammons.
Okay, I mean that works.
Save new game. Replace delete previous game. Replace.
Okay, now let's take this new sample in here and see what it comes up with, Shout. Hello? Just walk right through the wall, why don't you, Captain? I didn't know that was one of your powers. Okay, toss it in there and see what happens.
Well, Jim, it doesn't look like it does anything.
Oh, it does something, all right.
Well, I guess I spoke too soon.
There you go.
Took it in. It looks as if the colony is getting a foothold in there.
Life energy levels are spiking. They're building to a level sufficient for sending out a signal 100 times stronger than the one that brought us here.
Oh my god, it's gonna blow up
Gammon
Earth!
sample appears to be thriving in this environment.
It's the Hulk! Gamma!
Thank you for your hard work. You have fulfilled the design for which we were created. I am authorized to tell you the true nature of this planet and those who brought you here. All you need do is ask.
Then ask.
Save new. Replace previous.
Well, let's talk to you.
Thank you, Captain, for your aid in constituting my people and in the unexpected necessary realignment of our communications array.
Yay!
You have performed admirably. Of the 16 stations reporting at this point, there have been 50% fatalities, 30% other failures, and only 20% successes. One group got points for style.
Points for style? Is this some sort of game? Not another alien race with a superiority complex. Who are you this time? Your appreciation is welcome, but many questions remain unanswered. Who are you? Points for style? Not. Your appreciation is
Is this some kind of game?
Many questions
Actually,
remain
Captain, it kind of is.
I am Cetissa, a projection of a synthesis of Azra and Visner. Clearly you know that the primitive life forms you have been dealing with are incapable of creating that in which you now stand. You will also note that the more demonic of the creatures displayed a passivity you did not expect, while the morally pure creature was aggressive and bloodthirsty.
The contradictions were noted and duly dealt with. I take it you were testing us on our ability to deal with disparate and contradictory inputs.
Yes, your reasoning ability was being tested, as well as your ability to adapt to new ideas when they conflict with deeply held beliefs and cultural
Again,
customs.
this would be
You passed
more
quite
apt.
admirably.
I don't
Brassica
know.
are impressed. rest.
I'm not clear on who the Brassica are.
Captain, from this site, I can deduce various things about the Brassica. They are taller and more slender than we are. They are possessed of 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand. I suppose bilateral symmetry, and I know they possess greater visual acuity than humans. They visited this place well before humans had left the Cro-Magnon stage of development. And I note they have avoided detection by us, and presumably every other race in the universe, before they decided to send out signals to bring us to their bases.
Thank you, Mr. Spock.
And more you
Bases,
as
plural.
you continue on the quest. I wish you luck.
Because this is a continuation of Sentinel.
Scotty, 4 to beam up.
That was a continuation of Sentinel, basically, so we're going to find more and more about it. Like I said, that whole judging a book by its cover thing probably would have gone better off without John's hammering it in.
The beginning and the end.
In this case, Bones, a new beginning. We were the midwives for the rebirth of a life form. 2 halves that have been made whole again. That's the way it was meant to be.
And let us hope that this is the end of Ensign John's
Let's hope so.
prejudices.
We can all learn to stop judging people by appearances. Ensign Johns might have done well to remember the biblical representation of Lucifer, appearing in the guise of an angel of light.
You can never trust anybody, and people who look like pointy-eared hobgoblins are definitely at the bottom of the list.
It appears that Dr. McCoy did not learn the lesson of this mission either. Unfortunate, but not unexpected.
Fortunately, the Alphans and the Omegans learned philosophy and personal belief are not as easily divorced from logic as some would believe. We humans attain our greatest fulfillment when both of them are united.
Really, Captain?
Really? But I've had enough philosophy for one day. I'd rather worry about these Brassica and their cosmic quest.
Well, with me aboard, we're sure to get points for style.
Many questions remain unanswered, Captain.
And there's only one way to answer them.
Captain, message from Starfleet.
Bring it up, Lieutenant.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment.
Yay!
I have a few comments. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed with the results of your recent performance. Outstanding work, Jim. Keep up the good work. Kane out.
Ahead, Mr. Sulu. Warp factor 5.
Leaving orbit. Increasing to warp factor 5.
Oh no, we just crashed right into the planet! Because that's kind of where we were headed. Ahead where? Where do you want to go? Second star to the right, straight on until morning? Okay, what do we got here? We have... Voids! We will be continuing this tomorrow.
Logic suggests that they will present us with opportunities to come to them.
Again, very good,
Captain,
Spock.
A message from Starfleet.
On screen.
Captain, the USS Regulus has been forced to cancel its survey mission to the Antares Rift. We've decided to redirect the Enterprise to that mission. The USS Hood will take over for your current assignment.
Of course, the Antares Rift has a rather dangerous reputation.
Nothing the Enterprise can't handle. But be careful. Starfleet out.
Now, I am actually going to go to the Rift
Save, new, replace, delete, preview,
before I
replace,
start,
previous.
or before I end the day. And I'm going to end the day here, even though it's a little early. The fact is, hey, I actually completed one, so it's a good point to stop. Or what is it? The Rift is what I'm looking for. First off, pause, so nothing happens in the meantime. Let's open up my list here. Rift, there we go. Ooh, oh, that's way over there. Let's take a look. Now, the Rift is, well, that thing. So let's run to it. And hopefully there's no combat right away. Nice. I'm little cutscenes, that's fine. That's all you really need.
Captain's log, stardate 6257.6. We have entered the Antares Rift and found spatial disruptions in the rift that make using warp engines extremely dangerous. Repairs are almost complete on the minor damage we suffered upon entry into the rift. We are continuing our survey using impulse engines.
My poor babies. Warp engines were meant to be used, Captain.
Oh, Scott.
Communications are back online, Captain.
Deflectors at 93% power and increasing.
Captain, undoubtedly, that phenomenon would explain many of the strange disappearances in this sector. Still, with our warp engines deactivated, our computers indicate we will be safe.
Wrong!
Communications are out again, Captain. Is anyone hurt? hurt?
If he was human, Mr. Spock's pride might be...
Captain, sensors failed to indicate anything unusual prior to the explosion. I would speculate that it was caused by an extremely unusual rift in the space-time continuum, a place where radically different physical laws apply.
And since it was different space-time, our sensors weren't programmed to detect it.
That makes no sense. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and... Whoops. Oh, okay, This one is taking place aboard the ship.
New game. Replace previous game.
As opposed to going on a planet or something. That's interesting. I like that. But we're going to go ahead and save it here. And we will continue this tomorrow. We're about halfway through the game. There's supposed to be 8 episodes. We finished 4 of them now. And the last 2 we were able to finish without looking anything up, as opposed to the first 2, which had this, oh yeah, you gotta click here. Not here or here, here. Oh yeah, you gotta pick the book up, not read the book, pick it up. Ugh, no hints for either of those. But no, we've got it this time. The stories are interesting, and they're actually connecting some of them together, too. So it's going to be fun to see where that leads. I'm curious. I want to know what happens next. I also like the fact that this one, it's taking place on the ship. So I get to walk around the actual Enterprise this time, which is something we did not get to do in the previous game, I don't believe. So, hey, as far as sequels go, this one is increasing the previous one. It's upping the stakes a little bit. More of the same, but new stories, good stories, giving us a few new elements to it. I appreciate this. So far, I'm glad I played this game. This is a far cry from what Blood 2 was, my god. Anyway, till tomorrow, Internet, take care and enjoy the games you play.